4 shillings ndio tunafanya kila kitu, ndio tunalipa nayo walimu.
You pay salaries, you take it to the county governments, you build roads and you buy medicine.
Kupeta currently complaining, they're saying that there's no money to pay teachers and you know, basically other issues, and they're not the only ones complaining.
Yes.
We know that also other aspects, like, you know, in the medical sector, hakuna pesa hapo hivyo.
Yes.
And this is not even about at your CBS and they discuss what no. This is just the unavailability of those funds. So, 34 shillings inatusaidia.
Why are we living beyond our means?
So we I
cannot afford to live in Runda. Why should I struggle to go and rent in Runda?
So these austerity measures that I'm sure you want to allude to, how
they don't work.
Yes. Do we need, and if they worked,
they don't work.
And if they worked, and if they were sincere, did we need 1 billion for renovation in State House? Do we need to pump in another 800?
It's 1.5 billion this year. There was another billion last year. Yes.
Do we need all that money to renovate a house that has everything I would want?
It already exists. We're not building a new house.
Yes.
CT alikuwa nasema they built a new State House.
Now
the old one is not existing anymore.
Let me ask you, how much money was used to build that State House? Even if we took into consideration the value of the cost then, we bring it today, I don't think it will get to 1 billion.
What concerns me is the value and the cost of history that you erase when you could retain the structures that ought to remind us of a certain heritage that we may not particularly like. When you change the face of it completely, for posterity, you've lost something that existed. So you talk of history, that place was called Government House before it became State House.
Yes.
We've lost that one.
That one is gone.
There's a school that exists somewhere in Ngong that was started in that place. It has a history.
Yeah.
All that is now
gone. That is gone.
The 1 billion shilling is a lot of money. It can do a hell of a lot. I'm not concerned the 1.5 billion. I'm concerned about the thinking behind it. And that's where you're right, the thinking behind the priorities.
Yes.
That's my concern. Because if you think that is a priority, then clearly other things that the citizenry tell you are a priority,
then
you do not share that concern with them.
Let's go to...
So Andrew is saying that we are struggling to live in Runda, yet we can't even afford the rent in that area.
Actually, we cannot.
So
this country...
I know his next statement is that to talk Runda,
Tuende Kibera, because that is where...
You know, when you hear Kibera, you are thinking of the slum.
Of the slum, no.
Hapana, Kibera ni kubwa, bro.
Yes.
Sikatai.
Kubwa.
Sikatai.
Can we downgrade?
Aje. Wewe niambie leo ngalikuanga CS wa trade or President William Ruto. In his shoes, what would you do differently that would probably now, considering the economy as it is, what would you do differently?
Okay, I am going to a rally. I'm going to open a dormitory in a school in Taita Taveta.
Right.
The dormitory cost 6 million. But my arrival there costs more than 100. Choppers, what have you. So where is my priority?
So no more traveling.
You know, let's be honest about some things.
We're the information age chief. Must I travel to a place for people to know that I have spoken about something?
So launch it via Zoom.
Let the county government launch it.
Do it.
Okay.
But then, again, you brought in county governments. Unfortunately, county governments are being run as kiosks.
What do you mean?
Yeah, some people, how they perceive, I'm elected, I'm a governor. So this county is like my kiosk. I do as I want.
Run it like they run their own properties.
Exactly.
No, but that one, I don't blame the governors. It's not the governors.
It starts from top.
No. That is our problem as citizens. We are afraid to hold our leaders to account.
Okay. And if we are not holding them to account, then let us accept this is this as a result of our how do I put it? Our lack of holding our leaders to account for whatever they're doing. Then we need to be content with the economy the way it is.
Yes,
so we are complacent in the suffering that we are currently experiencing.
We're not even complacent. We're afraid. We do not hold people in leadership to account.
What makes ERP wake up and say, super petrol leo 9 shillings. Have we ever questioned that?
I think we just got tired of complaining.
No.
EPRA,
Are we tired of suffering?
no, we are not.
Then
We are used to the suffering.
No, you shouldn't be used to suffering.
Yeah.
The county governments, who, in my opinion, should be held to account, and the easiest to hold to account are the people who actually ought to bring development to the level where we want it as an ordinary citizen, are comprised of people we know. The MCA is somebody I know. He is probably even my relative. Because he represents the ward and I come from that ward. How far away can he possibly be? These are the people who have a parliament. This parliament also makes laws just like the national parliament. Everything the National Assembly does, they do.
exactly.
So how is it that we keep complaining that we don't have things being done for us? And yet the money in the counties are delayed, but they receive it. Their complaint is that it's inadequate, and yet they don't give sufficient understanding and an explanation as to what they've used, how they've used what they received. It's always they need more. Okay,
Yes.
and the one you got, what did it do?
Tell us, yes, give us an audit or your progress report and say, I've received, for the last 3 years, I've received, say, 24 billion. This is what I've been able to do.
They don't do that.
Are you there to pay salaries?
They don't do that.
So before we get to the point where we are asking our leaders or holding them to account, you are still telling us what else apart, and now we'll trickle it down now to county government.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So umesema president acha kwenda ku launch dormitory in Taita Taveta. Nini ingine?
No. It's not a question. Look, the amount of money that is spent in even launching it, believe me, in terms of the budgetary consideration of the country, it is minuscule. It doesn't actually move the needle. The optics are what are horrible.
Yes.
How do you have 40 cars going to a place
Yes, in
when
data.
the people in whose roads you are traveling have a problem with water, have a problem with basic health care? That is the optics which are horribly terrible.
Yeah.
And that is part of what contributes to the unpopularity of this particular government, because people feel, why are they living so large and yet we are suffering?
Yeah.
You see? But the same is seen in the county governments, and that is your government. Ni watu wenu wanaongea hata lugha yenu. Okay? But we do not hold them to account.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Yes, and if you did, your life, as we call it in Mashinani, would be better. When people know they'll be held to account, they do what they're supposed to do. Our people do what they do because they know they will get away with it. They know.
The people who've tried Siti Muga to hold Gava to account, and specifically in the recent past, those people have been either disappearing, found in
It is not
rivers.
new. It is not new. It is not new. We just have a Gen Z movement. There are people who fought during Mau Mau. They are not old people. They were young people. Okay? They fought. Other people who were politicians then were young. Jomo Kenyatta was old. People like Jaramogi were not so young. Many of them were young people. They fought. They paid a price for it. And as you say, people died. Yes, they did. Many died. But we made a movement. Did we not?
Yes.
We did.
Right. Once we made that movement, Kenyatta rolled it back a bit. Didn't put it in law, just rolled it back a bit. We had a one-party system.
Yes.
Okay? It was later entrenched. A new war began, what they call the second liberation. The people who were doing it were young. They were predominantly young, university students. People died. Things happened. That struggle brought about a new constitution. It brought back multipartyism. Then we sat back.
So basically what I'm hearing is that for things to change, people must die.
No, they don't
No,
have to
no,
die. They do not have to die. I'm simply trying to tell you
Yes.
that what we are seeing should
It's not
remind us
new.
of the past and should understand that there were changes brought. Now, which raises the question that I want to ask you. We know what the first liberation was about, the second liberation. Hey, this one, what is it about?
It is about, this is more of economical. The people are not economically empowered. And when I mean economically empowered,
Or liberated for that matter.
yes, it is very difficult for a young man in his 20s, just fresh graduate. You know, even getting an employment or being employed and getting 15,000.
So the problem is employment.
It is not about employment. It is about how we're structuring the economy of this country to offer You know,
So we're not creating enough opportunities.
Opportunities, yes.
So where is the problem? Why are we not creating enough
The
opportunities?
And that's where we go back. Why are we importing so much rather than exporting? What happened? You know, let's go back. Kenya Industrial. I'll still go back to Kenya Industrial Estate.
Okay.
If things were working, would be more of exporting, and you know that balance would have, you know, ideally our trade balance is how much do you import vis-a-vis how much do you export. In our case, we're importing more, we're exporting less.
Okay.
If we could get a balance that is reasonable, then you know the economy would start working.
You know what is strange about life? Huh?
Yes.
Every time you have an embargo, somebody's not behaving well.
Yes.
So there are sanctions.
There are sanctions.
What is strange about sanctions is that those countries on whom the sanctions are levied tend to find homegrown solutions.
Yes.
South Africa became a nuclear power. Yes, when they were sanctioned.
Yes.
The structural adjustment programs, there's a point at which President Moi put his foot down. This Bretton Woods institution stopped giving him money. There's some 10 years they did not give him money. We had shortages of rice and maize once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while.
But doing a really strange thing. The shilling was stable.
Very stable.
Stable.
That
Wait,
was
you
that was
said
when even the exchange rate,
Moi's time.
that was
Moi.
when the exchange rate was the British pound to shilling was 20 bob.
That was much earlier.
Much earlier.
Much earlier.
Yeah.
But it has started rising, but it didn't move. Why?
I remember there's the time, I think it could be Moi's time, I could be wrong on this, but I think there's that time the dollar was like 70 bob.
It was 70 for
it
the
didn't
longest.
move.
Didn't move.
We didn't have debts to pay to that magnitude. We had not borrowed their money. So we didn't have the burden of having to bother with their money.
Yeah.
Okay? Or repaying it.
Yes.
What is strange, really strange, homegrown industries actually grew during that period. Do you know we were actually exporting to our neighbors?
Yes.
Who economically were not at the same stage we were at that period. That's what I'm telling you. These austerity measures don't quite work the way the Western world thinks it should work. It has not worked anywhere. It didn't work in Greece. It didn't work in Ireland.
Ghana.
It didn't work. Where it seems to work is when the support is not quite like what they give us. If, say, for instance, you look at the loans that are given by the equivalent of the World Bank, the European Economic Group, the money is lent in euros. You pay it in euros.
Yeah.
The debt to GDP ratio that he speaks of, the country with the highest one is Japan.
Yeah.
It is 239%. Okay? But the money is borrowed in yen. The Japanese have a saving culture.
Yes.
So they save and they save and they save. So you borrow in yen, you pay in yen. Us, you borrow in dollar. When the dollar does a yo-yo, all the money you've paid is like the two factory settings.
Which by the way happens to do that yo-yo he's talking about when we are about to pay that debt.
Yes.
Suddenly, you haven't paid anything because the interest has sorted it out.
Has gotten, yeah.
But we borrowed in dollars. But in our case, it's difficult to understand because what we've borrowed domestically and what we've borrowed is almost at par.
Yes. As of May 2025, 11.5 trillion.
Oh, which 11?
11.5 trillion.
How much did this presidency inherit? 8.
8.
It was, Kibaki had close to 3, Uhuru gave us 6. These guys are doing well. They're on course. In this short time, they've given us 2 trillion. By the time we get to 2027, they should have given us 5 trillion. At this rate, we're not doing too badly. Yeah. It's like $1 trillion a year.
They are keeping up, eh? They are keeping up.
Yeah, the question is, it's obvious we are not an island, we have to borrow. What does the law say about borrowing?
It's for development.
Exactly.
Only.
Kibaki, we can see what he did. The other regime, Uhuru's, we could see, there's a lot of the expressway. We have issues there, I know.
But we see the
SGR, we see it, despite the last mile extension of electricity. We benefited, Now, we are hearing we are still borrowing. To do what?
And
I'll quote the control of budget one time. And she said, tunafuliza as a country. She equated it to that.
But he was not wrong. If you look at the juggling that the Exchequer is doing with regards to what should be given to the counties, what should be allocated within the budget to the various ministries, we are juggling seriously. And some of the borrowing that you asked, some of it is borrowed so that we can pay debts.
Now, let's look at the budget that was passed the other day. It stands at 4.3 trillion. That's our budget for 25.
That's where we have a problem.
See?
Yeah.
The whatever KRA is likely to collect, or the revenue they're likely to collect, is 3.4.
Let me ask the question, since this is your area of expertise.
Yes.
Why isn't our budget reflecting what we're able to collect?
And that's why I said we are living in Runda, yet we cannot afford it.
Actually, Senator Onyonka on Friday, I think, he got emotional, like akasirikia his colleagues at the Senate, yeah?
Yes.
And I'm sure you saw that clip.
Yeah.
Where he was trying to say that, guys, we are borrowing to pay debt.
Exactly.
And his colleagues actually stopped him from continuing with that conversation, because he said the report that was given to the Senate, he said it was useless. I think something to that effect. He used such words. He said it's irrelevant. It's because at the end of the day, let's focus on where the problem is. So now, if we focus on where the problem is, which is, according to Senator Onyonka, the problem is we are borrowing to pay debt.
Yes.
For me, I feel like that's what Kenyans used to do. I don't know if they're still doing it. I hope they're not. Where you used to borrow one mobile lender to pay another mobile lender. And then borrow a third one to pay the first one. Then now you borrow now a fifth one to pay the second one. And
what makes you think you've changed?
So by the end of the month, when you're being paid your salary, now you pay your debt, and then now you go back to borrowing. So I feel like in Kenya now we're in that vicious cycle, right?
You've gone to money lender.
Yes.
Look at Amjengo and the ladies who cook. There's a book.
Yes.
In Ajazwa, whatever you eat.
You eat.
The smart ones, the eater doesn't pay. It is the contractor who pays. So this is what your people have eaten, and you're paid. It doesn't stop there. Working class people like yourselves, where you live, there's a kibanda, there's a book. It is written. When you get money, that's the first thing. And this you learn from the first time you start earning a salary. You pay rent, you pay electricity, you pay water. You pay that lady. The rest you can now share a little for bus fare. But you know you will eat until the end of the month.
Until the end of the month.
The principle is the hand-to-mouth principle, but it also tells you that we do not have a saving culture.
Right.
We do not. There are those who will say extended family notwithstanding, we do not have a savings culture. Many of the nations we compare ourselves with, like the Asian tigers, have a serious saving culture. My friend, they save and save, so they have money. Okay? And many of those economies are strong because they have money. And when they borrow in their currency. So they don't suffer as we do.
We do.
As we suffer.
Some of those people that we are comparing ourselves to, they live a very minimalist life.
Yes, they do.
Where they don't, again, going back to his words, they live within their means. Someone could be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, but he's not necessarily living in Runda.
I had the privilege of visiting Singapore, one of the Asian tigers who were benchmarking
Kenya 40
years ago. You go to that place and you're like, oh my God.
Go to Malaysia, even
Malaysia, they're neighbors. Those guys, Singapore is very small. I don't think it is even the size of Nairobi.
It is a rocky island.
It is just like a small place.
Yes, it is.
But the economy is so robust to the point that I don't know.
But you see, that's what happens when you have a leadership who have the will to do good by their people. Their focus is in building a nation where the citizens benefit. That's their focus. And that's what you're seeing.
Yes.
They focus on their citizens. That's the focus. And you're even told, if you want to make money, don't join the government, please.
Yes.
Don't. You go into business and make money. Go, find a biashara.
And
government.
And the structure of doing business is so lucrative in the sense that, the process that we're talking about, it is so well structured to the point that, yes, you take that risk and you reap the rewards.
See, the understanding is this, and this is something that seems to escape those who are in political leadership. When you grow an economy, what it means is there's a lot more money for everybody. Things which seem difficult become easier. The Kibaki era is remembered because they opened up the economy in ways that people didn't understand.
Yes.
And why? The government wasn't borrowing as much as successive governments from our financial institutions. There was money to lend out to the individuals. Banks were hawking money.
Loans.
Hawking.
Yes.
You go to a place like out here, there would be a caboose. Take a loan.
Take a loan.
And you got the loan. When you got the loan, you're able to do what you wanted to do with the loan. The banks were doing what they were supposed to do, lend money to individuals. Okay?
Yep.
One saw it. That money was being spent locally. That's why when they said the economy grew, you could feel it.
So right now the government has borrowed so much money from local banks. Sasa sisi hatuna pesa ya kuboro.
You can borrow.
Ukipata kuboro, you're borrowing at a very high interest rate.
But you are not the preferred person the bank would lend to because you have risks.
Let's look at the percentage in which we're growing this economy.
Right.
2023, it grew by 5.7. That was the average. 2023.
How do you measure these figures? Me, these figures.
You don't. CT, you're always skeptical, eh?
Do you know what 5% growth means?
Actually, 5.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what 5% means? He is telling how you would feel it.
You'd feel it.
Please break it down for us. When we say that the economy grew by 5.7%, are we saying that we
we look
our
at
trade?
Yes,
or was
our
it
trade? We look at how the money, the circulation. How are the banks performing? How are the manufacturing performing? Are we seeing a spur in how business is done? Are people reporting profits and what have you? So there are whole other variables that are put in place so that we can say it has grown by 5.7%. That was in 2023. Come 2024, it went to 4.7.
Okay.
A decline of
1.3.
1 point. As of last month, we were standing at 4.9. So you see, we're just there. I want to take you back to Vision 2030, which we are left with 5 years to do an audit and ask ourselves, have we really achieved anything? Now, in that Vision 2030, one of the pillars, the first one, was the economic pillar.
Okay.
And what was the economic pillar talking about? They were talking about our economy growing by 10% minimum. So we are not even at half of what we had targeted. 10%. Now, I'll tell you, if we are doing 10%, it would mean business is thriving to the point that the number of millionaires in Kenya would have gone up. Independent. Let's not talk about those government affiliated and what have you. Genuine,
let's not talk about politicians.
Yes. Okay. Genuine, honest, hard-working
Kenyans.
Would expect our shilling to have grown stronger. Would expect even what you earn, but all this is not happening. And here now we are doing this taxing business that now we want to push the taxes. Why?
Right.
So we are shrinking that. We're not expanding.
If we have a growth of GDP, it means economic activities in the country have increased.
Yes.
It also means there's more money being generated in the economy.
Yes.
If that is the case, then it means KRA has a lot more to tax. So KRA has a lot more money. If KRA has a lot more money, it means the government has a lot more money to put it into services that it is supposed to provide for the citizenry. Do you see this happening?
No.
And I think actually now that you've mentioned KRA, they were celebrating something last week. They had hit some kind of target. Collection target, I think, for
it's like in all due respect, it's like telling our great athlete
Eliud
Kipchoge,
right,
to celebrate when he runs, when he clocks 25 kilometers.
Right.
To him, what is 25 kilometers?
Because he's done 42.
He's done 42
effortlessly.
So why should he celebrate when he's doing 25? You see, what I'm saying is, you cannot place a target, a very low target, that you easily hit, then you clap for yourself.
The thing is, I would look at it more in terms of what is realistic. You see, when you talk about economic growth and the benefits that are accrued thereof, is it equally distributed, or is it a small group of people who represent this figure because of what they turn around, what they have? The growth of what we call the middle class in this country,
right,
is another thing that is attributed to the so-called Kibaki era.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, business, at that point in time, an increase was witnessed.
Yes.
More money in circulation was witnessed.
Hapo ndio bodaboda ziliingia Kenya.
Boda had their time. But let me tell you something which is of interest. That didn't start with the Kibaki era. No. It started the Moi era. Structural adjustment also asked the government to reduce the number of employees it had. So there was a golden handshake period that was given where, and mostly it was mid-level management. You're given money which you thought was a lot of money to retire early at the age of 40. 40! My friend, you've just begun to understand how life is about, and then someone tells you to retire. To do what? And you are not a business person. But what it did, the hidden economy, as the World Bank called it then, Ijuakali, was then infused by people who had a lot more knowledge than the previous ones.
Yes.
So the informal sector, as we call it, then actually grew.
Yeah.
Because expertise and knowledge which didn't exist was
Is
brought
now
into
brought
it.
in, yeah. True.
And a lot more money. When you talk about most of the business that we have in this country, fall in that category, some say up to 80%.
80%.
Believe me, it is not false. And a lot of the money that you hear is being generated within the country is generated in that bracket. Now, I'm asking the question now, with this growth we're being told of, do you see that growth?
Just to add on that, look at some of these. When you go to some of these malls, they have so many, shops here and there. How many are closed? I wonder, every time I go to a mall, you'll find a one door locked with a chain, which means this is someone who has defaulted on rent.
Take it even further. Look at the estates where the majority of our people live and ask yourself why you have a traffic jam around the 30th to around the 5th on our roads, and then immediately after.
Tomorrow, jam hakuna.
Watu wanatumianga magari wakilipo mshahara. After mshahara imeisha, hapo tarehe 5, tarehe 6.
Look at your dailies and look at the section where we have auctioneers. Those pages are growing by the day.
They have more than they know what to do with. Talk to them. Believe me.
Property.
The auctioneers now.
They have more than they know what to do with, because to sell you have to have a buyer. There are no buyers.
Tuko hapa.
So that begs the question, when we talk about a growth of 4.7,
okay,
really, are we being honest? Are we...
Now, of course, all over the world, people are complaining. It's not just in Kenya, right?
Yeah,
We're
true.
complaining. People all over the world, in America, in Asia, I don't know if Asians are complaining, but, like in Europe, they're all complaining. Times are hard. Things are thick. Yes. It's like there's like a global recession, yeah? But no one is actually coming out to say it is there. So, what is so different here and elsewhere? Is it that ours is really, 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 really muddy?
Well, it has to do with a lot of the policies and how we're trying to execute them. You as a leader, or people whom we've entrusted you with that
responsibility,
role,
yes.
that responsibility. And I honestly will tell you, National Treasury has very brilliant people. The economists, if you would only listen to these people.
I mean, Raila called them experts.
We now have so many experts. Everyone is an expert. But
yeah,
we do have people who can really sit down and advise and tell you, things are not working here. For example, you cannot be borrowing to repay a loan. We need to move out of that cycle. That's the reality. So the question is, how are we moving from that? But we're not asking that question of how do we move. Instead, in our thinking is borrow more, pay. Ile imebaki tuone vile tutafanya. We cannot continue with that.
The question that we keep asking is, if one was in the position of this administration, what would they do differently? That's a very difficult question to ask.
Yes.
If Kibaki inherited this government, what would he do differently? If Uhuru inherited this government, because remember, in judging this government, we have to ask, what did they inherit?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me tell you about what Kibaki did. The first year, Kibaki suspended all development projects.
Yes.
Halt.
Mm-hmm.
You're not expanding on new projects. Let's see what we can do with the ones that we started. Let's restructure KRA so that KRA can actually collect optimally.
Yes.
That's what he did. That's when this ETR came into being.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, suddenly, KRA was flush. A policy came in. We were borrowing only 5% of what we need. 5.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yes.
There's a year, it is said,
He did not borrow.
we actually did not borrow.
Yeah.
But it started with making the hard decision at the very beginning and saying, this is what we are going to do and this is what we are not going to do. And you did it. Kibaki did something else very differently. Kibaki rehabilitated some very ancient civil servants who had even retired. It's not that they were brighter than the people who were there, but they knew what to do. They had done it before. They had been PSs. They knew what to do.
Yeah.
They knew how to do certain things in a certain way.
Yeah.
Those are the decisions he made. So when Uhuru took over an extremely healthy government. Then he went on a borrowing spree. And he borrowed, and he borrowed, and he borrowed. So we are told. We are paying for some of that. Some of it is the Arorki Morer money.
Yep.
Money which we all know never even came into the country.
Eurobond.
Didn't even step, yani, even a passing visit. At least
A flyby.
Yes, it just reaches the border like this and then goes back. Didn't. And we are paying for it.
Now this one again. We're still borrowing?
Yes, whenever I ask questions of this government, I start with the Uhuru government, who have even more questions to answer than this government. Because that is the honest truth.
Yeah, that is the honest truth.
The burden of repayment that we are suffering is not because of this money that they've recently acquired. It is the old one that clearly we did not pay. And yet, in reality, every single month or year, we are paying debts. That is the truth. We pay.
So, in that case then,
Yes.
home solutions that we might have. There's a time, I think, either early this year or late last year. Serikali ilikuwa kuuza some of its companies.
Yeah, its companies, yes.
Is that a solution that might actually work?
To who? Let's ask. You are selling to who?
So
how much money will you generate from those sales?
Yes,
and how will it help with the national debt?
So that if, for example, if this company...
No, let's work with this. Huh?
Yeah.
Right now we have a debt of 11 trillion.
Trillion, yes.
Yeah. So
actually, Andrew.
Yeah.
Right now we are told we owe 11 trillion.
Yes.
We are told.
Yeah.
I am not certain we owe 11 trillion because you can't have a situation where you pay debts and it just remains a constant.
No, there's an interest element.
But tuendelee, 11 trillion.
So now let's work with 11 trillion. We sell Kenya Pipeline. Will it generate enough money to pay off 11 trillion?
Let me even give you an example of a company that we might sell. So right now Kenya Power iko na madeni mingi sana. Wako na mashida kama 1 million.
Yes.
So if we sell Kenya Power to God knows who, then that person, we also transfer that liability to him. Like, so hii kampuni unachukua juu iko na madeni. Si ndio? Iko na deni, hata kama tuseme iko na deni ya 50 billion. Wewe sasa tumekuzia kama Andrew Kubo, you find out how you pay that 50 billion. Mwenye alipatia loan alipe ni nani? So ongea naye, you discuss how you're going to pay that loan. Is that a solution?
Let me ask you this simple question. The selling means a certain amount of money will come into your coffers.
Yes.
What does Kenya Power generate every single month?
So now
every single day. Yes, I'm going there.
Yes. So I don't know.
No, and I'm not even asking you for a figure. I am simply saying, when you aggregate all these things and you look at whatever debts they have, are we saying that this one sale will solve the problem so that the economic issue we have with our debts will at least be solved partially?
No.
And my answer is no.
Yeah, that's a big no.
So that now you can answer me fully for this particular question. So so we sell Kenya Power, they deal with their debt.
Kenya Pipeline.
SGR already nakwanga na wa China. Tuachie tuambie, as a matter of fact, continue. tuchukue
What did you pay all that God knows 400 billion for?
then
When we're doing this, now I want us to go
What were you
back.
paying for?
Yes.
so that
And movie, I'll tell you. You remember my statement was Kenya Railways were the biggest
Land
owners. What is this business of land compensation that came with SGR? How much money was used for that particular thing?
How much money were we told was used to compensate people, and yet there are people still complaining they haven't been compensated on date?
And Kenya Railways is the biggest land owner. I'll tell you, I come from Taita Taveta. You can see that land should have they should have run parallel.
You know something? The Kenya Power, I am puzzled. I honestly, something about this country which I don't understand.
A monopoly.
How? Yes, it's a monopoly.
are they in debt?
No, it is a monopoly. It is a monopoly.
Yeah.
How are you telling me you don't make money? How?
Yes. And
Overheads.
So once we give China to, again, God knows who, and then SGR we also leave it to God knows who, Expressway, so that we can stop paying the debts, and then now we focus on other things.
It won't work.
My friend, first of all, these debts that
won't
we
work.
supposedly have need to be looked at. We need to audit them.
And I like that idea.
Of auditing.
Yes.
Auditing. And when this administration
But we
came,
audit every day.
No, we don't.
When this
don't.
when this
National
administration
debt,
came
we
in,
don't.
one of their utterances, or is it manifesto, we are going to do a thorough audit of what has
Debt.
been borrowed to date 3 years down the line. We've never seen
That audit.
that audit.
No, we haven't.
Yet we have two offices that are supposed to be doing that business,
Exactly.
and the main one is the the auditor of
Gen-
whatever Auditor General. That's
Yes,
what I was looking
yes.
for. So if she can, with her office, because
Yes.
they also
Yeah.
at the county level,
Yes.
they can let us know that, and that is kazi tunaweza patia in what 3 months or tupatie
My
that
friend,
report.
They have the data.
Those things are not going to be audited, just so that we understand.
And
each
actually,
other.
Andrew
we
saying-
can keep having the discussion.
Andrew saying-
they are not going to be audited.
Andrew is saying that we already have the data, so it's just availing the data.
Yes, it is there.
My friend, let me explain something to you. What Andrew is saying is absolutely true. He's not lying to you.
Yes.
The thing about our country, there's a level of transparency that most citizens don't realize we actually have. The Exchequer, the Ministry of Finance, reports these things. It's in the public domain. But they know we don't read, so it doesn't matter. They'll keep posting it, nobody will read,
City.
and so they want to know.
City, the last time I was here, I told Mbuvi,
Yeah.
for every transaction, government transaction, it has to pass through the control of budget.
Yes, it does.
The Kenyan government budget has to pass through.
The control of budget.
She is mandated by law to say this one, no, including that borrowing we're talking about.
Yes.
Including the wheelbarrows that are non-carcinogenic.
All those things, she has, that office has that responsibility of saying no.
Yeah.
True or false?
They do.
So now,
And
So
what happens?
once they flag that budget that they're saying this non-carcinogenic wheelbarrows ni upuzi wacheni kununua, then we still go ahead and we buy.
Yes, movie, she herself has said that she has been bypassed. She has stated it in the past.
So you see,
She said this, and somebody said, Kanayo. They proceeded and moved elsewhere. So,
Me, what I'm asking, gentlemen, is the solution. What is the damn solution that we need?
political
that we have?
goodwill. Let's
No,
start with the
no,
political
no,
goodwill.
no, Andrew.
Let's start with the
Andrew,
political goodwill.
Politicians work under threat. I'm putting it bluntly. They must know the citizenry will get rid of them, then they'll behave. Our politicians are accustomed to doing what they want, how they want, and to telling us any nonsense, believing that we'll do nothing about it.
They have no threat.
So long, they must know that this threat is real, and you will. Don't burn anybody's house. Don't burn anybody's cars. Just get them out of the job. When they know this job will go, they will. You will be amazed. Choir boys, and girls, they will do what they're supposed to do.
CT, the only time we get rid of politicians is during an election.
No, we don't get rid of politicians. We just bring new ones. Getting rid of a politician means
Yeah.
we get rid of a certain type of thinking within our political leadership, and that comes with what I'm calling a threat. They must know that the consequences of their actions are dire. they know they are not dire. Last year, June 25th,
They knew
things had gone south. My friend, they knew. Tukalegeza, as we say. And so here we are. Accountability is what will guarantee us the country we want. Accountability. Don't burn anybody. Don't kill. Don't.
Yeah.
Simply make sure that they know that this constitution that we have understood that they would misbehave and there would be consequences. Let's apply it.
Yes, and
Okay.
and I remember Mbuvi telling you, we are not short of laws and legislations. We don't. We have some of the best laws,
Yes.
if you ask me.
Yes.
Everything has been thought about, has been put down. How we actually now implement is where now the problem lies.
Yeah.
And as citizens, I think we've left that to the politicians. So they know, like City has said,
I give a bunch
consequences.
of people just wake up in the morning and decide to pay themselves more money. And they do it. And it is okay. As far as they're concerned, it's fine. And they even tell you it's not enough. So you wonder, really? When you're 900,000 shillings, that is so much money. And then we haven't looked at the other freebies you get, the God knows you what.
The allowances.
And the traveling way to the point where you're never even in the country. All those are paid for. I'm simply saying this. This whole system has gone completely bad. And the only way people now get a modicum of reality is if they know that they are going to be put to check. That's when. So long as that isn't there, they'll run roughshod over you.
So, Andrew, you've said that we need political goodwill. Now, so we have like a minute before we end this particular conversation. And what I want to understand from you, how possible is it in the foreseeable future?
City has put it rightly. Before we put you there in that leadership role, you need to understand that there are consequences. We have the power through the constitution to recall you. So if we feel you're not doing what we...
IBC lituambia hatuwezi recall.
Who said?
IBC said it last week. They said we cannot recall. It is there in the constitution, yes, but in law there's no legal basis.
That is a clear sign that that guy who said it should not have that job.
Exactly.
What the heck is he talking about?
It is Epicon alisema. See, we're not as in.
I told you about this thing last time. It is there.
He said that in the constitution, iko hapo in black and white. He just said in legalese it doesn't exist.
And he has a monopoly on legalese, does he?
Alisema.
And his understanding of legalese superintends and it supersedes the constitution.
Mi bro nakwambia tu kenye ubweza alisema.
Let's recall.
That's what happens when you are the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's you we go for.
Yes, but the truth of the matter is it is there.
Yes,
Let
it
us
is.
put these people to task. Let them be held accountable. You know, I liked what City has said. Accountability is our biggest problem. We don't want to be accountable.
Yes.
So once we put people to task, let them be accountable and let them realize that there are consequences, then I think we'll start having that goodwill. And even for the younger aspirants, you know, nowadays politics is about, I want to get there and do what I've seen.
Yeah.
I think even our own moral fabric.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yes. So we just need a more of a culture change as a nation. I said last time we do not have patriots in this country. Can we go back to the reset button and let's be patriotic to our nation?
Thank you so much. Andrew Kubo, a public finance professional, state of the economy there, you've had it, and of course, trade. Apo iko shida. But as usual, we shall invite you back here to have this and more conversations surrounding that. But don't go too far. Right now, we're having our next guest. But before that, the news is coming through. Then we shall get into that deeper conversation.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. Evangelical churches in Kenya have endorsed NACADA's policy on alcohol and substance abuse, which among others seek to raise the legal drinking age from 18 to 21. The church said the move reflects a genuine effort to tackle the country's deepening addiction crisis. The alliance commended the joint efforts of the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse and the Ministry of Interior in developing the framework. It noted that the policy's emphasis on vulnerable populations, particularly children and youth, often exposed to deceptive advertising and peer pressure, demonstrated a strong and necessary commitment to long-term change.
This epidemic is undeniable. The government action is therefore bold, necessary, long overdue, and this should have come even earlier. Like this, what I'm saying is long overdue. Raising the legal drinking age and restricting access to alcohol in supermarkets, online platforms, and public venues such as parks and petrol stations are protective measures that affirm the sanctity of life and the importance of safeguarding our young people from early exposure to harmful substances.
Former Baringo Central MP Sami Moita has been arrested of alleged conspiracy to commit a felony and abuse of office in case involving 2 plots in Nairobi West. According to the DCI, Moita was arrested in Kilimani, Nairobi for the offences of conspiracy to commit a felony, making a document without authority, abuse of office, and giving false information to a person employed in the public service. His arrest follows further directions by the ODPP in a case involving 2 plots located at Nairobi West along Mai Mahiu Road, both valued at millions of shillings. Moita is being processed for arraignment as such for his accomplice continues. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has assured Baringo County residents free and fair nominations for the United Democratic Alliance ticket for the coming Senate by-election. The DP said the ruling party will ensure the will of voters is captured and respected during the UDA primaries. The Deputy President, who spoke on Sunday at Baringo North Economic Empowerment Engagement in Kabartonjo, Baringo County, called on interested candidates to conduct themselves peacefully. The seat was left vacant following the death of Senator William Cheptumo earlier this year.
Mimi naona ya kwamba sasa hivi ile shida ya kiusalama ilikuwa Baringo 2022. Mungu ametusaidia tukiongozwa na Rais William Ruto kusaidia kuleta usalama hapa Baringo. I am very happy today kuona mbunge wa Tiati ako hapa, mbunge wa Baringo North ako hapa, wanaketi wanaongea kama ndugu na dada, kwa sababu ile uhasama Mungu ametusaidia hiyo maneno ya kupoteza maisha na kuiba mifugo tumemaliza. I am very happy.
Tour operators in the coastal town of Watamu are expressing renewed optimism for a spike in tourist arrivals as the 2025-2026 high season begins. This has been boosted by intensified local efforts to brand the destination as a premier eco-friendly beach getaway. This optimism was on full display during the annual beach cleanup celebration held over the weekend. The event, organized by Watamu Boat Organizers and Operators Association in partnership with the local community, marked the official launch of the tourism season.
Hizi groups zimechukua kusafisha fuo zetu ni muhimu sana kwa kuboresha utalii, kwa sababu utalii unategemea usafi.
Na kila mwaka tutafanya utaratibu huu ili tuweze kuboresha Watamu pamoja na mazingira ya Watamu na kuboresha utalii wetu katika mji wa Watamu.
KWS tumezidi kuwa na uhusiano mzuri na bila ya wao pia haya yasingekuwa.
Lando Norris held off a late attack from McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. Norris controlled defense drive in an intense race, with the two lead rivals on the divergent strategies reduced his deficit to Piastri in the championship to 9 points heading into Formula One's summer break. Mercedes' George Russell took the final podium place, passing Charles Leclerc in the closing stages as the Ferrari faded from pole position. And that's the Truth on Radio Generation. Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, morning radio. But now there is Radio Generations, the people's breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The people's breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
A very good morning and welcome back to Radio Generation. If you're just joining us, karibu tena sana. In Nairobi, it's 88.8, in Mombasa, 90.7. Malindi, it's 92.1. Lamu, 92.6, and of course, Garissa, 89.5. In studio this particular hour, we do have a lady who has decided to take things on. She has taken the bull by the horns, for lack of a better word. And perhaps CT will tell us if there's a proverb for that, apart from the bull by the horns. Yes. And this lady, if you've been watching our social media pages, we actually posted about her, and the response has been awesome. It has been amazing. So in case you have a question for our guest, I shall be giving you the number to put in your request there, or put in your question. But allow me to introduce her. We do have in studio Amina Guyo Halake. She is the party leader for Alliance for Change Party, AFC, and she is also a presidential aspirant come 2027. And before we went on air, I was actually asking her if she has started her campaigns. Karibu tena sana mheshimiwa.
Asante sana.
Yeah, let me just get straight into it. Have you started your campaigns?
Not yet, but campaign is just
an ongoing process.
An ongoing process.
Yeah.
And everywhere you go, if you are asked 1 or 2, definitely you will say 3 and 4.
Yes.
And that becomes a campaign.
You put out your bid sometime last month.
Yeah.
And I'm sure things were different immediately after you put out this bid and you told people that you're running for the presidency. In your opinion, are people taking you seriously? Because in this country we've had so many aspirants. Some of them start with a lot of energy, just like yourself, and then somewhere along the way they either throw in their support for someone else, or they get to the very end where IEBC does miujiza, wanakosa kufika kwa ballot. What's your plan? Are you going up till the very end, or at one point you're planning to think about things in a different perspective?
God willing, I am going to go to the till the end. I'm going to the ballot.
Right.
And our life is in the hand of God.
Right.
As long as we are breathing and living, I will go to the ballot. And I don't think anything can stop me from going to the ballot. And yes, as you said, many have different strategies, and many has taken this by surprise, or many thought maybe I am a joker. And I want to assure Kenyans I'm not a joker.
Yeah,
I am going to take this thing until the end.
Very end.
Yes.
So what made you want to run for president?
Just like every Kenyan, I am tired. We are angry. We are fed up with the system that is not working for us, the system that is not working for any Kenyan. And I felt I was waiting for someone maybe who has a great idea for this country, or the best feeling for this country at heart to come out. And so far, I couldn't find any, because everyone who has come out is just a recycled leader. And we are tired of being elected, tired of electing a recycled leader all over again. And the history is the same. Nothing is changing. So we are tired. Basically, we are tired.
Okay.
And if there is nobody who is going to come out or stand in my way, I will show until the end.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the questions that will arise in your campaigns, and when you go to such interviews such as this one, people will ask you, because the office of the presidency is quite demanding. So in terms of experience, in terms of governance, what would you offer Kenyans in a previous position that you can say, look, this is what I have achieved with the ABCD position, and this is what I'm hoping to achieve with the presidency?
I think when I look at the experience aspect of it, I feel it is overrated, because when I look at the leaders we've had so far, they all had very good experience.
Right.
Matters politics, and they've been in the government, and they understand the system better than the common wananchi. So them having all those experience and knowing everything what Kenyans are going through and having the remedy, what have they done for this country? Rather than draining it further, what have they done? They are all they are all students of one teacher to another, to another, to another. But nothing has come forth rather than disaster after disaster. So I think experience
is neither here nor there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't count much here.
I don't know. Siti, would you have a different opinion in regards to that specific response?
She has a valid point. Our lived experience with our political leadership up to the president, you would assume, as she says correctly, that having been in those positions of government, you've been a minister, that you would understand the functions of government. In that respect, she's 100% right. But I think there is also, what in my opinion is the issue, is why we elect our political leaders. You see, you can have all that experience, but if you've never demonstrated that you have the interest of the citizenry, there's nothing in your history that shows us that. It doesn't matter how long you've been in politics. You are the person who you should not be given that job, because the thing that you needed to have demonstrated is how it is you have the citizenry at the center of your concern. Okay? And this is something that is not difficult to demonstrate.
Right.
It's not difficult to demonstrate at all from a political perspective. There are politicians who are popular and very popular because circumstances, time, and the things they have done have given the citizen the impression that this person is always fighting for the monanchi. See? Now, in an African country, it's not difficult. In the world of politics, it is not difficult. To understand it, look at countries where one single party doesn't rule, it's a coalition. The number of times governments change. One coalition partner moves, you have to go back again. That now is democracy working.
Yeah.
But it also tells you that we're not that far off. People agree on certain things, people then disagree, someone says, look, if it isn't working, I'm pulling out.
Yeah.
So you have a system where the checks and balances are embedded in that system. We call it a parliamentary system. Now, ours, the way it is
not working.
No. This system that we have, this presidential system and what have you, this system doesn't work for us.
Okay.
It doesn't work for the interest. If it did, the people who could have made us believe that it worked haven't come yet. The ones who have been in power have demonstrated clearly that this thing does not benefit the monanchi.
Yeah.
I have a specific question. You said that successful presidents who've been there have not necessarily delivered on the mandate that Kenyans gave them. So, for instance, people say that Kibaki was one of the best performing presidents we've ever had. Right? Others argue that, Uhuru actually, and Siti Muga is actually one of them, when Uhuru took over power, he found a very good system that had been set up,
which I agree with him.
Yes, but where he messed up is the excessive borrowing and so on and so forth. But what would you pick out, for example, in the Kibaki era, that if you were president then you would have done probably differently or better?
I agree with what you said, that Kibaki's era was better. I won't say it's 100% okay, good, but I would say it is better compared to the rest
that came after him.
Kibaki made sure the infrastructures are in place, the road and everything, and the system was working for the people of this country. That is why you will not find so many noise making. There was less disruption from the wananchi, because Kenyans people are very peaceful people. People that love their country, they work. When the system is working for them, they don't care what the others are doing. They don't care what the government is doing, as long as the system is in place. So with Kibaki, we got that. He made sure the system is working for the people, and the people are not making noise. And he had a good period of leading. But when Uhuru's government
came in,
he took, I heard him say, a healthy government. He took a healthy nation.
Yes.
Which I agree with him again.
All right.
Very healthy. But what happens? He borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, and everything now started crumbling down.
Okay.
Corruption, unemployment, everything. People started making noise. People started realizing, feeling it. Before you realize it, you feel it. After you feel it, now you say, okay, this system is not working for us. So we have to make noise.
Right.
Uhuru's government was also had rough time. Wananchi were awakened, very much awakened by that time. So they made a lot of noise. But by the time the noise has reached the peak, lucky him, he finished his term.
Okay.
Then come the Kasongo government,
right,
which was the worst. At some point, Uhuru was telling us, Uhuru was signaling that Uyomuntu, I have a reason as to why I didn't endorse. I have a reason as to why I put him aside. But we didn't say that. Instead, we thought Kenyans had hope. They said, okay, this man, he's put aside. He has felt us. He has felt how we feel. So he will come and change this country. So what happens? We voted him in mass.
When you talk about Uhuru warning us, I used to assume that he was telling us that this man may not be a good manager. But I've come to think he knew what he was leaving this gentleman. And he knew that what I'm leaving you is going to give you more problems than you can think. So you carry on. But you see, the leader in power has to be held to account.
Exactly.
Because you asked for the job. It was your duty to make sure you know what you're getting. So what your predecessor did is a different story. You knew. If you didn't know, then that's your problem, really, because why do you take a job when you're not fully prepared? So we can only assume that you knew. Now, you informed the citizenry that you had a plan. When spoken, it sounded like it was good.
Very good. Very convincing.
Yes. The truth is this. Thinking, planning, talking about a plan, and implementing is that it works. Two different things. Completely different. In my opinion, the fault that this government had when they had a lot of goodwill was to speak and say, we thought it was going to be this. To be honest, this thing can't be done the way we said.
Yeah.
The difficult thing to say, they did not say.
I wish they came out and say that.
Yes.
Kenyans would have understood.
They had goodwill.
Yeah.
They had goodwill.
And good plans.
Yes. But they kept now promising more. So a problem that was not that big suddenly became big.
You see, if I give you if I give you a lorry that is broken down, but it kind of moves, okay, then, and you can see that this lorry is broken down, then you take over and telling me that you will fix it. You tell these people that you will fix this lorry and this lorry is going to be the best lorry. Then once you take that lorry, unayaribu zaidi. Tires zinachapa, engine unabadilisha, vitu zingine zinapotea. So surely, and I agree with you to some extent when you're saying that they came in, they had goodwill, but they kept on promising us, and that is now where things went wrong.
They squandered the goodwill. That's what I'm saying.
So what you're trying to say is that they should have just taken the lorry as it was and continued driving it in the state that
I am saying they should have said this lorry is not what we thought it was.
Right.
We told you this and this because we thought this and this. There are things we didn't know. We only knew when we're now in the system. That's when we could see it. Before we could not see it.
They said they found empty coffers.
That doesn't tell you anything because you're telling us you have empty coffers and you're buying new cars. You're renovating.
You're traveling.
Yeah.
People, no one will believe you.
Right.
Your actions and your words are not aligning.
Not styling, yes.
We relate money to our lives. When I don't have money, there are things I don't do.
Yeah.
If I tell you I don't have money and I'm doing very many things which cost money, how will you believe me?
It will raise eyebrows.
Yes. You see, the citizenry was wondering, if this is what empty coffers mean, then what are these people saying? Because we expect that when you have empty coffers, there is no money at all. That's empty. They should have spoken the truth. There are no government coffers that are full at any time. The money is collected so that it can be used.
Are there those that are empty though?
My friend, we have reserves in the central bank, but we always use the money that we collect. The exchequer is not a bank. That's why you have central bank. The money comes in, their projects, their budgets, it goes out. It always goes out. So when you tell us you have empty coffers, what do you mean exactly? What did you expect to find? No. That narrative was not well executed. They were trying to tell us they found a broke government. They should have explained. When you tell a citizenry that the government is broke, and yet we are paying taxes every day. Every single day we pay. We are asking, it's okay, you're broke, and this money that we're giving you, where is it going exactly?
Yeah.
Now those questions are not answered. Now when the questions grow and the response is not forthcoming in equal measure, then what we then have is a trust deficit, and that also grows.
Alliance for Change. What's the vision for the country? Because if you do happen to get elected, what are you going to do differently? I think our president alisema akiekelea Biblia chini, but aliekelea constitution chini na kainua sword. Sasa wewe tukikupatia usukani, ni nini cho utafanya tofauti?
There's a lot that I can do it differently.
Right.
First of all, we will do general analysis. After general analysis, we will come back to Kenyans and tell them this is the situation of this country. There is this we can, and there is the much we cannot.
And by analysis, you mean an audit? An
audit.
Right.
The entire country will do the audit. After the audit, we will come back to Kenyans. And mostly, we do listen. We are not judging. We are not rushing to give answers. We listen. After we give Kenyans the audit report, the Kenyans will come up with the solutions. The Kenyans themselves will come the solution.
Okay.
But on our part, what needs to be improved immediately is the agriculture sector. Is the corruption is matters that will take centuries. I don't want even to touch on corruption.
Really?
Because
I think it's something we can deal with today if we wanted.
We can, but it is not something we can finish it overnight.
Okay.
It's not.
All right.
We will try our level best to minimize it, but it is not something that you can finish it, because corruption did not start with the Ruto government, with the Uhuru government. It is deep rooted. And if you say you will clear corruption in this country, then it will mean you will kill all Kenyans or you will finish the whole.
Are you saying that we are all corrupt?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I am.
Because corruption starts in the house.
I'm curious to listen to you incriminate yourself.
At some point or the other, we've all bribed a policeman.
All right.
People like me may claim I don't, but at some point I have. We've all gone to some office where you wanted some service within the government, and you facilitated the speeding up of that process.
You greased the hands.
Facilitated.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
It is corruption. Because that person is supposed to serve you, you're not supposed to pay them to serve you. Okay? Anytime I look the other way when something is wrong and I don't do it, I am aiding and abetting it because I've not spoken against it.
Yes.
Most Kenyans don't steal from anybody, they don't even bribe, but they don't speak out against things which are wrong. So they are aiding and abetting it. That is why I say. And we like our little corruptions. There are things we do not consider corruption. If it is somebody who is close to us or somebody who speaks the language we speak, we call it business.
Correct.
And it could be outright theft, but it's business. Some say, this person knows how to look for it, and it's theft. Okay?
Jamaa anajua shimo za Nairobi.
Yes, exactly. How do you find a situation where compound that was designated for a school, a playing field, has somebody building a whole block of flats? I mean, and this person is actually even justifying it. And you're thinking, this is public property. They're supposed to benefit not these children, but the future.
Yeah.
Those who allocated the land thought of children in the now and in the future. If they didn't, the students who are there then wouldn't even be there because that school would have gone.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of preserving anything for the future generation doesn't exist in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because it starts with something small, then you graduate, and then your conscience is seared. It's no longer a problem. So long as you can get away with it, it's okay. When we don't speak against it, we are complicit. That is really my point.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So if we do decide to go for corruption, tunamaliza kila Mkenya. So you said corruption is something that is an ongoing.
It's an ongoing and it takes
process.
centuries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what else are we doing also
Yeah.
as president?
Yeah. We feel
because you said agriculture is one of the very many major things that you will deal with.
Yeah.
Corruption, you said hiyo ni kitu tutaangalia.
Agriculture now, when I come back to agriculture is where now the economy of this country will be uplifted. When we don't need to export.
Right.
And we have so many food in this country. Whereas we can be the biggest exporters. Why would we import when we can import? Why do we export? So for that itself will give us the economy, will raise the
economy of the country.
The economy of the country. And will also bring a lot of employment. Because right now, why would you go to school when you cannot get an employment? When that person gets that skills, he or she can come and do the business, the agriculture business, the import and export business. And with that, we don't even need the government. You understand?
Right.
So that is one. Number two, the employment. What this country lacks the most is inclusivity.
Okay.
The inclusivity lacks because if we look at our parliament, the ratio of youth
right
is less
in parliament.
Okay. Even in the government, even in so many industries, so many ministries, youths are very few. We have elderly or recycled leaders who keep on getting appointment or renewal of the contract and so forth. But that professional youth who is very qualified, he's seated somewhere.
Yes.
And he's not given an opportunity to give back to this country.
So, for example, if we just look at the parliament, the National Assembly,
yes,
I am thinking that these positions, obviously, majority of them are elective. And then, of course, we have a few appointments here and there. So, if we focus just on the elective positions alone, doesn't that fall back then to the citizens? Because at the end of the day, I'm the one to decide whether I'll choose an old CT Muga or probably a younger, like our producer.
It does.
So it's, I think that's, for me, it's more of a citizen problem.
It does. It does. This is where now I urge the youth to come into the parliament. That's the only place where your voice will be heard. That's the only place where you will be able to change the rotten laws and make this country a new place. So I think at the same time the youth are not given opportunities to be able to get into these positions, because for one to be a member of parliament, it takes finances to do campaign. It takes a lot of resources. But if this youth is just from school,
right,
he doesn't have a proper job. He's just been in the house, or he's just been a shoe polisher. With all his master's, his degrees, wherever, he's just a shoe polisher. Do you think that that youth will get a position to even if he tries to vie to get a position to be voted for?
I mean, you're right to say that campaigns are very costly. Hata ya MCA I'm sure it's very costly. I've never tried it, but I tried running for university, a university position, and it was quite costly.
Yeah, it is.
So we are seeing someone like CJ Maraga. He has decided to go the Wanjiku way. He's saying that his campaigns will be Wanjiku funded. As we talk about the youth and how they will fund themselves, I want to talk about your party. How are you ensuring that if a youth wants to seek an elective position through the Alliance for Change Party, how are you going to facilitate that? Are you going to make it easy for the youth to join the party and even seek positions? Because we've seen also in the past where parties have already decided that it is so and so who will get the ticket for this constituency, so and so the ticket for senatorial for this whatever, and the gubernatorial seat as well. AFC mnaingilia wapi hapo?
AFC we have so much youth focused in terms of elections. We are giving youth, women and people with disability first priority. Whoever youth comes to our office seeking for a ticket to vie on, he or she will get that ticket for free.
Okay. The rest will pay.
Yes, the rest who are paying is if you have been an MP and you want to come back for the second or the third time, you've had enough money, you've been in the government, you've made enough money, so you pay the amount, the subscription that you're supposed to pay. But for a youth, a woman, and people with disability, we are giving free tickets.
Okay.
And we will also facilitate in terms of campaigning. We don't have money, we don't give money, but we will stand with them. We will help them branding and other materials that we can.
All right.
So that is how we want youth to capture the parliament. We want youth and women to make sure they are elected in the
counties.
In the counties.
Okay.
That is the only time they'll be able to change, to bring the change.
Okay.
Because as for now, we've had so many mandamanos, so many Kasongo must go, so many one term, so many we've had. But their plea is very, very genuine.
Right.
But who is listening to them? No one is listening to them.
Right. I want us to get into the youth agenda that you have and you would wish to implement in case you became president. But for now, I also want to understand, because now we brought up the issue of funding for campaigns. Where are you going to get funds for your campaigns? Because a lot of times we see once a president is elected, or even a governor, once they're elected, they're compromised by the individuals that help them get into power. So that means someone gave you $1 billion for your campaign. Sasa your mutu lazima umconsider for, I don't know, deputy president, or umconsider for a CS, a position in, or a tender. So are you planning to fund your own campaign?
First of all, we want to bring change, and change does not start with how much money you have. Change does not start with billions. Change starts with the people. If the people are ready, it doesn't matter how much money you have to change. It doesn't matter how much money you have to implement the change. If you talk to the people that are the same feelings with yours, it is easy.
Okay.
Kenyans have been taken for a ride for quite some time, but now they are fed up, they are angry, and they just want to get rid of these leaders that are not worth voting for. So I am not going to get to convince the country so much, because the country is already convinced that they want change. And for that reason, I don't think I will put myself in trouble where I get funder who will ask me something in return.
All right. So you will have donors.
Yeah. But surely you must tell us what your manifesto is. You must tell us how you want to deal with just two things, education and health. Forget the other things. You must be able to tell us how you're going to do it differently. Because yes, the country needs change. With every electoral cycle, we see ourselves manifesting the change in the speed with which we change our members of parliament. It tells you that people want change and they vote for change. But the reason why that keeps happening is because the change they vote for, they don't seem to get. So they think maybe if we change this person. So it makes me ask the question, is changing the MP the solution? Because we change them, and what we hear is that the person you then elect is probably worse than the one you had before. So you keep wondering now, why or not did you even remove that one? And that's why some people are voted out. They stay out one term, then they go back again. What do we need to do to ensure that the people we elect deliver? And what is it that you are going to present as a social contract between you and the voter to tell them, this is how you will hold me accountable to ensure that I do the things I'm going to do?
Thank you very much. For education and healthcare, the education system was changed to CBC, and CBC has brought a lot of confusion. And recently we had it is not sustainable. Free education is no longer sustainable. That is, I feel that is mockery of the highest level. How do you expect common mwananchi to survive? Because the only way they are able to raise these kids is by pushing them to school, which is free education. But it is not even that free, Makiu.
Yes.
It is not that free.
Right.
It's just the name that is free. But even that name free is removed. And now you are subjected to paying more. How will a common mwananchi survive? Now there is school fees, there is medical bill, there is food, and there is unemployment.
Right.
How would common mwananchi survive? It is a problem. So for CBC was implemented, I feel a little bit too early.
And also quickly.
Too early and so quickly before the research was done, and it was lacking so many things.
Okay,
it was brought to us. Now we embrace it, but there is no fund for it. And CBC is a very expensive system, Makiu. It is expensive system, yes, but have the government considered that? Have the government put a budget for that? If they have, how come it is still incomplete?
As a matter of fact, this morning we woke up to news that Kupet was saying that there's not enough funding
for the exams,
for not just exams, but just to fund the pupils in school come the new term. Yes, so they are unable to pay the teachers. They are unable to, and this whole issue of capitation, that's another demon by itself. Yeah. So how would you tackle it if you were to become president? Because that one is an issue that every president has always had to deal with.
Yeah. First of all, the free education has to come back. There is no compromise there. There is no talking about it. It has to come back. And CBC, it's a good system. It's a good system. But it has its all problems.
So are you saying that you will bring back 844?
No. CBC will be still implemented, but a better version of it. We'll have to get the professionals who will come and cook it again.
I think actually the government has reintroduced introduced another version of CBC. It's now called CBE. Right. Which is
not still complete. Because they are doing it in a rush. I don't know why we are why we are rushing that much. It is being rushed.
Yeah, sorry. You were to say something.
Now I was going to ask a question. Many presidential candidates have in this country the tendency of telling us what they will do within the first 1 month, 18 months,
100 days.
Yes. So let's talk about 18 months for you. What do you think you will need to do, one, to get the support of the people behind you so they can see that you're actually serious? And the things that you would set in motion, not complete, set in motion. With a completion date into the future. What are these things?
Like
in the first 18th month.
Like I said before, you asked me about the experience.
Yes.
Which I lack. But lacking experience doesn't make me incompetent.
Right.
There is competence aspect of it.
Right.
There is visionary aspect of it. The first 18 months in the office is, like I said, and I am repeating again, is to do an audit.
18 months, a long time for an audit.
Yes. After the audit, I will give the country the feedback.
So for a whole year and a half?
Not just the audit and feedback.
Okay.
I am going there.
All right.
Then from the audit and the feedback, we will have a direction. What are these direction? I cannot tell the direction where I'm seated now because I don't know what the outcome of that audit will be.
So, for instance, one thing that we will definitely need to audit and confirm its viability is the Social Health Insurance Fund under SHA, right? And people have been complaining about it. First of all, even the funding of SHA alone has had a lot of malumbano back and forth. Doctors are complaining, nurses are complaining, clinical officers are also complaining. So, in your opinion, what do you think needs to be done? And forget you even just being president. You now just as a citizen of this country. What do you think needs to be done today to help SHA become what we thought it was going to be?
Looking back, I don't even understand why we had to change from NHIF. To date, I don't understand why we did. Because NHIF, I can't say it was perfect, but it was better and it was really working. Why did we have to change from NHIF to SHA, which never worked from inception to date, which after implementation, Kenyans kept on complaining and the government is doing nothing about it. So I feel as a common mwananchi,
yes,
what I feel is there must be something behind it that Kenyans do not know.
Corruption?
Exactly. Because if it were not for corruption, why change from NHIF to SHA, which is not working? If you change from NHIF to SHA and a better system that is working for everyone, yes, we'll run with it. But if it is worse than NHIF, why did we implement?
Okay.
You know, the question of SHA and SHIF revolves around who you ask. Because SHA has 3 categories. It's not one. NHIF, everything was bundled into one. Everything. Now, when you're talking about non-communicable diseases and chronic ailments, the funding for that, from what we've been told, was supposed to come from the government. And the amounts are huge. When you look at SHIF, which is essentially NHIF, people who are salaried paying into it. Then you look at primary health care, the third. That also requires government funding. Okay. Now, people who utilize SHIF will tell you it works. Not all, they'll tell you. You'll hear it works. I went, paid some, they'll say they paid partially. The promise was that you would walk into a hospital, you'd be taken care of and walk out. That isn't happening for many others. There lies a problem. Some go with a problem which should be handled at the primary level, level 2 and 3, and they go to level 4. They haven't been adequately informed that actually that's not where this problem is handled. It's handled elsewhere. What am I saying? The communication around this particular process, again, symptomatic of the promises which were made, timelines and what needed to be done to make it perfect were never spoken of. So people are left in the dark to figure out what is working and what is not working, and where it is working, and so forth. And when you leave people to figure it out, they will figure out the worst possible case scenario. In theory, the system is not a bad system. In theory. But the question you ask is a valid one. Why didn't they just add to what already existed in NHIF and say, okay, NHIF, in addition to it, we are going to add this and we are going to call it this. But they said they had to change the whole thing. And unfortunately, every time in this country you change something, that fundamentally you raise very many
It
questions.
changes for the worst.
Actually, someone told me that there's only so many times you can change a certain law, and I think for NHIF, since independence, things have been changing about it, and it got to a point now you can't amend it further. Now you have to create an entirely new.
That's a narrative. That's a narrative. There is no limit. There's no statutes of limitation as to the number of times you can amend the law.
Exactly, yeah.
You can amend it because with every generation, new things come up. Now, if you put a ceiling on it, how would you amend? Because what you're doing is amending it to suit the purposes of the time.
Okay.
When NHIF was set up, my friend, we did not have this population of 58-60 million.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the people who are being employed within government, they increase, but not commensurate to the needs that the funding of such a system requires.
Okay.
Now, these are the discussions that, again, we've not had. And so when there are enough people complaining, and they're all complaining and saying it's not working, part of it is someone doesn't tell you what exactly is not working for them.
Yeah.
So here we have people who used to work for NHIF who are now supposed to be redeployed to various, actually not just SHA, but various ministries. And the problem with that is that they're now, because I actually personally know of some of these individuals, they're now being asked to take a lower salary to be reabsorbed into government, into other departments and so on and so forth because of whatever reason. And they're in court currently fighting that particular situation. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. There's a bigger question here, a bigger elephant in the room, so to speak. The fact that you're a woman running for president. We have seen women run for president before in this country. We had Charity Kaluki Ngilu. We had the Honorable Martha Karua. And they struggled in their own, despite their years of experience and competence. Is that what you introduced in the conversation today? So what makes you have that edge over them? Because we know Martha Karua is in the running as well, unless she says otherwise. I don't know. I've not heard or seen of any other woman currently. But Ninini, where you think you will bring to the table?
I don't know why we are dwelling around on gender.
Yes.
Because this has nothing to do with gender.
Actually, madam, it does. In this country,
it
does. In this country, it actually does.
It's something you can't take away from the equation.
It is a simple reality of our politics. I wish it wasn't, but it is. You are, first of all, in your case, you are a woman. The part of the country you come from, we have elected female leaders. They are not many. Anyone who wants to aspire to the seat of a president must have support from a base.
You come from Moyale, right?
Moyale.
Yes.
Okay. Now, my question is, the support base, where do you expect your support base to come from when you want to stand? And I'm going to be categorical. You are a woman, you are a Muslim, you come from Moyale, because all those are factors. Where will your support base come from?
Now tribal comes in play.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yes, it does.
That is what is now finishing this country. As much as, yes, it's a political error, or mimi na mtu wangu, or mimi na mtu wangu. That is what has created a lot of problem in this country. We should not be looking at gender. We should not be looking at the tribe. We should not be looking at the religion. We should be looking at a visionary leader. We should be looking at who is competent.
You know, madam, if we don't consider these things, and one prepares for them, because I'm not talking about my thoughts. No.
I understand.
I am delighted
that
you are actually vying. I am happy. I am simply referring to the realities of our country.
Correct.
And how we handle our politics, and how one must be prepared, because those are the hurdles that are the reality you will confront.
Those have been there.
Yes.
All these things that you are mentioning are there. But do you think Kenyans have changed? Do you think Kenyans are different? They are more enlightened. They are more politicians than ever. They are more aware of what is going on. And they want nothing but change.
Okay.
They want nothing but change.
So your support base, my question where do you expect it to come from? Because you have to start with the support base. That's how our politics is structured. Unless you're telling me you want to bring a completely new paradigm to our politics, and if you are, is this something you can talk about, or is that your secret weapon?
It's my secret. It's my secret weapon.
Yeah, because and I actually hadn't thought about how CT has put it, but now that he has, allow me to just reiterate on it. I'll even take a random example. Martha Karua, she's a woman. She's vying for president, but she's likely to get into a coalition from if the rumors are true. Her support base comes from Kirinyaga, which again we saw in the previous election. She didn't get that much support from Kirinyaga for whatever reason. Probably it could be something to do with historical injustices. I don't know.
Correct.
But if
we suffer the most.
Yeah. So if I was to take you now as Halake, the springboard that now you're going to say, and the people are going to be behind you, who are they? Are they people from Moyale who will come and say, look, we have given you our daughter to come and become your president, because we are certain that what she has done in Moyale she can do for Kenya? Or is it the Muslim community, for instance? They will say, look, we're giving you Halake in the Muslim community, we believe in her, or is it going to be the women who are going to come out and say we support, and not just any women, like even women who've held prominent positions in this country? For example, can Charity Ngilu come and say, I have faith in this particular lady and I've given her my blessing? And Charity Ngilu, if she gives you her blessings, it also comes to the people of Kitui County and Ukambani and the women of Ukambani.
Correct, yeah.
And so on and so forth. Sasa support base yako iko pande gani? Natoka wapi? Because you will need one of those three, or if you have more, for sure you will need.
Actually, when I never looked at it from that angle.
Right.
Now when I think about it, is my support base, I will say the fact that I'm a Muslim, I would expect Muslims to vote for me.
Right.
I would expect. It is not that
demand.
They've endorsed me.
Yes.
It is not that it's a demand. I would expect Muslims, brothers and sisters, to support me. And as a Borana speaking lady,
yes,
I would expect also actually 3 counties. That is Marsabit, Isiolo, and Tana River, the Borana speaking counties. So I would expect
that fan base,
that to be my support base.
Okay.
I have not looked at it from that angle. What I looked at is the youth and the women.
Okay.
And people with disabilities.
All right.
Basically.
What you're saying makes sense. But to package it so that it is easily understood and it can be voted for.
Yes.
See, Martha Karua moved beyond Gishugu, where she was MP. She is a big champion of good governance and integrity.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
And that is something that people can rally around.
Kabisa.
Okay? And she stands by it. Now, that also creates a problem in our political sphere. Somebody who is that clear on governance becomes a bit of a problem when it comes to electing, because people can see this person is going to straighten things which they do not want straightened.
Yeah.
So now there's the issue of what you need to do and political survival. How are you going to balance this?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Because if you keep much of this secret, we might have a problem come election day.
No.
2027.
It is not going to be a secret anymore. It is going to come out one way or another.
Right.
Because I need to, as I said before, Kenyans don't need to be convinced. Kenyans are convinced.
Right.
They want change and they are ready for change.
Yeah.
The question is, that change they want, are they ready for them?
Okay.
Or are they afraid of what change might come with? You understand? Yes, there are men, there are women, a woman who they've never seen before, who has decided to say, okay, I am taking this bull by the horn.
The horns, yes.
I am going to stand in front of you and ask for your votes.
Okay.
Are Kenyans ready to to embrace that.
So there's this question that is always cliche, but I'll ask it anyway, either way. Perhaps, have you considered vying for a lesser position than that of the president, say MCA or MP or senator or governor, woman rep even, so that you can demonstrate to the population that you eventually need to rule over in future? You convince them with these positions first, or this position, but you went literally straight for the head. Why so? Why not MCA? Why not MP? Why not even Speaker of the County Assembly? But why this specifically?
Because I believe in myself, and I have what it takes, and I know I can do it. And why not the other seats? Why not this one? Because I haven't found anybody. Maybe someone will come after this.
Right.
It is not yet time for us to have exhausted the list.
The options, yes.
The options are still there.
Okay. So we shouldn't be shocked if we see one day you're a running mate to a governor of, let's say, Marsabit or...
Never.
Okay.
Never.
All right.
So though they say, don't say never, but never. I am going to mpaka kwa debe. You will see me. I rather get one vote than to pay second fiddle.
Okay.
No.
So what happens
because my principle is not the same as
the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will stand by mine. I will sell my ideology. And like I said, Kenyans do not need convincing this time. Kenya wants change.
How long have you been active in politics?
Since 2013.
It's good. It's good. That's enough time. And I take it that the experience you've garnered from this is what made you realize that perhaps, why are other people doing it? Why can't I try and do this thing myself?
Exactly, yeah.
Can you think of one thing that you looked at and said, no, this can't happen this way? Is there any one thing that, because usually for a decision of that nature to be made, something happened and you say, apana, this one.
There must have been a trigger.
Yes, there's a trigger. What's their trigger?
So many things.
Okay.
So many things. Honestly, so many things. That some are really emotional.
Yes.
Some are heartbreaking. So many things.
Is it the youth dying in the streets? Is it mothers dying while giving birth?
That being on top of the agenda.
Or the monies that the counties get and you can see it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And you can see.
All right.
So many things.
We've come to the end of the show. Thank you for your taking time to come and talk to us. Perhaps when now you have that proper manifesto, invite you come and give us those like we have been given the 10-point agenda by the broad-based government.
Yes.
But we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Karibu tena sana. So this is where we come to a close as far as the show is concerned. Coming up next, tuko nao Rania and Brian Odor. They're going to be taking you through the retro box, and then after that you shall be meeting Diana Kubebea and DJ Abstract on the what? Yeah, inaitangwa nini tena? The drive show. Power Drive, yes, that's the name of the show. Then later on, you're going to be meeting Emmanuel Kisiangani and Bashir Halaiki. They'll take you through the one down. Right now, though, let's get into the news with one Winnie Maganga. All right. See you tomorrow bright and early.